The Fix is in. The Sports Fix.
Portions of the Sports Fix brought to you by Fantasy Jocks. Visit fantasyjocks.com, your fantasy sports superstore. Championship belts, rings, trophies, and more.
Sports Fix listeners, don't wait all day or all week to get in on the fun. The party doesn't stop when we go off the air all week long. The Sports Fix social media sites are your one-stop shop for all things Cleveland sports. Jump over to Facebook.com/TheSportsFix, Facebook.com/TheSportsFix, and become a fan today because we love fans and they create some of the best sports talk in town, Daddy. You'll enjoy talking to your fellow Cleveland sports fans on the Sports Fix fan page. And if Twitter's your thing, well, you know how we do it. Tweet with us at the SportsFixCLE. It's that simple.
Twitter.com/TheSportsFixCLE, baby.
Chat live with the crew during all your favorite Cleveland sports events, tickets and contests and trivia and so much more. Get with us today, the Sports Fix on social media, Facebook.com/TheSportsFix. Tweet with us at the SportsFixCLE. Join the Sports Fix on Facebook and Twitter today.
This is Greg Pruitt, formerly of the Cleveland Browns, and you're listening to The Sports Fix.
Live in Ohio, it's time to get your fix. The Sports Fix.
Hoo-wee, we are on the air, feeling good. How you feeling? Heat check. How you feeling right now as we kick things off? I'm feeling all right, man. You know what? It doesn't matter if you've had 2.5, maybe 2 3/4 hours of sleep. Who cares? We don't need no. We'll sleep when we don't have to worry about sleep anymore, baby, because the Sports Fix is on the air, rocking and rolling. Not only is it Friday, the end of the week, big weekend, high school playoffs starting, football. Speaking of football, I'm getting there. Cavs with another chance tonight to get a victory before they wrap up this road trip and come home. OSU Buckeyes. Rivalry. Speaking of rivalries, I'm getting there. Buckeyes and the Spartans doing their thing this weekend. We've got a lot to look forward to, and something tells me a lot to talk about looking back. Last night, the Cleveland Browns. Listen, all seriousness, all of the homerism aside, what the Browns did last night, I mean, really, how do you put into words? It's one thing to go, I'll tell you how you put it into words. LG put it into words when he called in yesterday and predicted the Browns blowout, because that is exactly what the Cleveland Browns did last night. They went to Cincinnati with all the question marks, and they lost Andrew Hawkins moments before the game. You know, it comes out. Hawkins inactive for the game. Taylor Gabriel, little diminutive, undrafted Taylor Gabriel steps in there, and just another thing. Anyways, they don't just win. They don't just show up and answer questions. They slap the Cincinnati Bengals around at home. I mean, the Bengals haven't been beaten at home like that. Well, Indianapolis. But anyways, the Bengals have not lost at home in how long? The Browns have not gone on the road and done that in how long? They haven't won in Cincinnati in how long? 1, 2, 3, 4. The dominoes keep falling off the things that they've never done before that now they're out there doing. And another domino fell here last night for the Browns. We're going to talk about it, obviously, not just here, but at the beginning of the show, the sports writer extraordinaire, Jonathan Knight. JK is going to be with us, just about 10, 15 minutes from now. Cannot wait. Him and I had some fun times last night. We were just texting about the game before it came on, and looking forward to talking to him, getting his thoughts. Looking forward as well, Ryan Ruiz from Dog Pound Nation going to be with us here as we get rolling. Going to check in with him. He put together his Dog Bones to victory yesterday. We're going to see how the Browns, obviously they won the game. We're going to see how the Browns held up with that, where he thought they were going to do yesterday, obviously exceeding expectations. We'll talk about the first 9 games now in the clip, and I'm just going to throw this out here, and it probably won't be the first time I say this tonight. The last time that the Cleveland Browns started a season 6-3 and did not make the playoffs was 1979. I'm positive I'll be repeating that again before the show goes on. There's a lot of football left to be played, but we'll talk to Ryan Ruiz looking forward at the next slate of games coming up. I'm going to crack open the phone lines here because I want to talk to you. Mike Brandenberry from DidTheTribeWinLastNight.com will be in hour 2. We'll talk some Indians baseball with him. As I said, Cavs, Spartans, more NFL to talk about, all of that. But let's rock and roll with the Sports Fix, the Cleveland Browns Victory Edition. And I'm going to the phones right off the bat. Sit tight. I see the calls coming in, you guys. Let's rock and roll. This is the Sports Fix. J-Rock, Jerry Myers, call me what you want. Call me the host of Party Central here this morning because we've got a jam-packed, locked and loaded edition of the Sports Fix coming your way, as we do each and every weekday at noon right here across the Sports Fix Radio Network. Welcome in all of you listening to us on TuneIn and TuneIn's radio app worldwide. We've probably got a ton of new listeners here today because I got to tell you guys, this is not to brag, but let me tell you guys, I just checked it like 5 minutes before we went on the air. The last 7 days, which makes sense. Last Thursday, the Cavs tipped things off. We had a huge day of listenership because of a lot of around-the-world interest in that. Well, the last 7 days have all been that way. Last night, a huge increase in our normal Thursday numbers because of the Browns and all of that. This past 7 days has been the most listened to 7-day period since we started the Sports Fix. Legit. On the table. These past 7 days have been the most listened to. There's been a ton of new audience opened up. A lot of the we've got a lot of people that come in. We're 5 days a week. We got a lot of people that come in for a show or two here and there during the week because it's hard to keep up 5 days a week, 2-3 hours a day. I get that unless you're able to dedicate or you sit at a desk. There's only certain types of jobs where you're able to do that. So a lot of times people come in. We have our biggest numbers on Mondays and Fridays because that's easy because Fridays you're wrapping up the week and you're talking a lot of football and heading into the weekend. Mondays you're wrapping up the weekend and so those are always big. Thursday, each day of the week I kind of got the usual numbers. Blew them all out of the water this week, which means a lot of you guys are listening for the first time or bringing in new people. Thank you guys so much. Whether that's on TuneIn, whether that's on Spreaker and Mixler and their respective mobile apps, whether you're listening live on the website, thesportsfix.net. Make sure you guys bookmark that, by the way, today. It's your one-stop shop for all things Cleveland sports. And welcome in to all of you listening on digital delay 24/7 around the world on iHeartRadio, the world's largest internet radio provider, on Spreaker, on SoundCloud, on Stitcher and CarPlay. Those of you that subscribe on iTunes and so much more, welcome in. You are all a part of the Sports Fix Nation, and we're going to open up the phone. You say it all the time. It's not just like the Sports Fix Nation, but we run this. You run this show right here. 216-539-7535. 216-539-7535. The number to call. I'm going to go to the phones in a minute. If you can't get in, once we start going to the guests on the phones, I promise, back segment of the show, I will open the phones back up for you guys to get in before we call it a day. If you can't get through, Facebook.com/The Sports Fix, or just search for The Sports Fix. Tweet with us at The Sports Fix CLE, and you can email us, thesportsfix@AOL.com. Facebook.com/The Sports Fix. Tweet with us at The Sports Fix CLE. Email us, thesportsfix@AOL.com. And I'm only going to brush on this for a split second in this aspect of the Browns game. Last night, for those of you that follow us on those social media sites that I just talked about, you know that last night, the very last thing that I put out there was a message. I put it out there on Twitter. I put it out there on Facebook and that. And I basically was saying, good night, Browns fans. I said, listen, if you are one of the people who is not going to bed right now, just happy with the Cleveland Browns, then you are a miserable idiot, and you deserve to be as miserable as possible. Because there were a few people that were mumbling and grumbling at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, look, man, you stayed up that late to watch the game. You just blew out the Bengals, and you're finding stuff to grumble about. Well, anyways, I was only half serious when I put that out there, just kind of poking at the people that are always those negative Nellies. Wake up this morning, I got a dozen messages in my message box here on Facebook, and a couple of comments on Twitter that the first thing the majority of Cleveland woke up to this morning on your beautiful FM radio station that is nothing but a giant troll job on the city of Cleveland and the good fans of Cleveland. That's all they are. If you guys listen, Chuck Booms is not a rogue idiot going rogue on the station. That's a staple programming part of their day. They plan on Chucky Booms going out there and doing the dumb things that he does in the morning. But that's disgusting. Really, all the garbage that Cleveland has to live with and swim in all the time with bad sports, okay, that's great. Those times aren't here right now, and that's what you're inundated with is Hoyer garbage and Manziel muck and all of that crap. I cannot believe after that victory last night that's the discussion, that the good people of Cleveland, even the bad of them out there, but I can't believe that's what you're inundated with first thing on a Friday morning. Most of you, like me, going on 2-3 hours sleep, you pop on the radio, you're like, yeah, man, I can't wait to hear how jazzed up my fellow Cleveland fans are here, and that's what you're hit with. Well, shut up, and I'm just telling you guys right now, 92.3, and you can tell them all I said it. Like my man, I sound like Kendall Lewis now. They know where I'm at, Daddy. That is nothing but a giant troll job on the city of Cleveland. They know exactly what they're doing at every moment of the day. It's a bunch of out-of-town clown shows. It's a bunch of retards. You know what? I don't like to use that word. It's a bunch of idiots. That's a much more appropriate word. I apologize for that. A bunch of idiots like Chuck Booms and just lowest common denominator radio meant to troll the city of Cleveland. I do like Ken Carman, by the way. But anyways, other than that, I stand by what I just said, and I'm done with that. Those of you, hopefully, that are done with it too, came over here and you're enjoying the show today, much like you're enjoying the Browns victory. And I'll tell you, this one's different than the last few. Because the last few, you always had it was Oakland, it was Tampa, these teams, and I get that. I said yesterday, let's get the question out here. You're playing a good team that's on a roll. Go see if that defense really is getting better. Well, they were getting better last night. Andy Dalton sure helped. He was all over the place. But Jeremy Hill, and how's that guy, by the way? He gonna go, the Browns are worse than I thought they were. I don't know if you guys heard that, but Jeremy Hill said this morning, not only are the Browns as bad as I thought, but they're worse. Listen. Maybe you can say something like that after you won by a field goal or lost by a field goal or some close game. You can't get pasted. You cannot get whitewashed at home like that on prime time. You're the team that doesn't live up to prime time instead of the guys on the other side who are known for it. That's what they're known for. And then you're going to say, well, they're not as good. They're even worse than I thought. What does that say about you? Because you just got waxed by a team that's worse than you. But they stepped up defensively, controlled Jeremy Hill, which was a big one. He comes off of a $150, only gets 50 this time, and they ran the ball. From the very beginning, they took that interception from Dalton, and they didn't even pass the ball. They didn't have to. Run, touchdown, baby. They ran it down their throats. Nearly 200 yards rushing yesterday. I mean, you know what? All the teams we played for the last month have been 30th ranked in the league in rushing. We mentioned that yesterday, or in rushing defense. But yet, who'd have thought this one would be the one you finally get off the schneid against, and they did. It was a good rotation. I liked the way the backs were in and out. West nearly 100 yards. Crow, Tate, all of them got a touchdown. That was key. Nobody turned the ball over. Defense continues to force turnovers. They're at +9 on the season right now. That's just an incredible plus-minus ratio on the turnovers, and all of that adds up to the huge victory. Let's let you guys get a word in edgewise. Trust me, I'll have plenty more to say as we roll on. And by the way, I'm telling you now, I never hang up on people. But I will hang up on you no, I'm just kidding. But I guarantee you nobody calling here has got a negative word to say here today. At least you shouldn't, because there's been a long time coming for. Do you realize, just going to throw this out there, that it's been since the last time the Browns were where they are today, this deep into the season, in the position, first place with the record they've got through 9 games, 1994. 1994. That's the year before Art Modell ripped the team out of the city and changed everything for the next couple of decades. Think about that. We're not just fixing the things that have been wrong recently. We're fixing the things that have been wrong I'm telling you. And it's very, very important. Some stuff JK and I have been talking off the air this morning. We're going to have a good conversation in that direction because he's got some great points to make too. I'm going to go to JK after the break, but first, let's let you get in here. Caller, kick us off. Victory Friday on the Sports Fix, baby.
J-Rock Daddy, this is LG.
Oh, my man, I'm glad you got the first call in because you hit it on the head yesterday. I know sometimes you go crazy with your predictions, but you said not only are the Browns going to win, but the Browns are going to win decisively, and they're going to kick tail in this one, and they did that from beginning to end in this one. It was buzzer to buzzer.